Thanks, Terry. There are 3 construction options that the city is looking at to widen George Washington Way, Aaron Drive, and Columbia Point Drive, that intersection right there. 42,000 cars travel that area every single day. Now, they may not be allowed at your children's school, but convicted sex offenders do have the right to a college education. And Keeper learned there are offenders taking classes right here at Columbia Basin College. We talk about the Tri-Cities being a great community, and today they were absolutely incredible. Literally hundreds of people showed up to put their arms, their loving support around this now broken family. Terry, what you're looking at right now are the flames. We're about half a mile from Hanson Park Development. This is a really scary fire because if you remember, just about an hour ago, I was south of Interstate 82. We've made our way now to Hanson, and the fire has been quickly following us. Now, they say the current boundaries for Pasco High School and Chiawana aren't fair. They're splitting up neighborhoods, and worse, they even say they're causing some families to leave the Pasco School District. Pop-Tarts, cotton candy, ring pops, Munchie Way. Hold up, Munchie Way? Look again. This isn't candy. Well, it is, but it's laced with pot.
It's insane.
And you're probably thinking the same thing.
Who do you think these companies are trying to market?
Well, definitely kids.
Well, youngsters, of course.
What, adults aren't going to go looking for Jolly Ranchers or cotton candy.
In the same day and age when Tide is fixing their packaging to stop kids from eating their pods, pot companies in Washington state are doing the opposite. Take a look at Pop-Tarts. See the difference? I didn't at first because it's one letter.
There needs to be the same laws for the type of packaging and the type of marketing that there is for cigarettes and alcohol.
Exactly what a group of concerned parents are lobbying our state legislators for, asking for rules to ensure pot wrappers don't bear a reasonable resemblance to candy.
You're back.
It's because although the draft rules released last week prohibit advertising within 1,000 feet of schools or playgrounds and not using ads with cartoon characters that appeal to kids, there's nothing about packaging.
It's hard enough as it is raising kids in this day and age with the internet and Facebook and everything. Now we have to worry about them getting their hands on something that they think is candy, but it's not. It's drugs.
Can you hear me?
Jennifer Ayala was at Columbia Park with her 2 sons when one of them needed to use the restroom. She didn't think much of it when they walked inside.
He's 5. He's out of habit, closes the restroom door and goes to the restroom.
But when Jennifer and her sons tried to leave, they couldn't.
I can't open it. It's stuck shut.
The door wouldn't budge.
I thought, did someone lock us in here? And then I'm like, no, that's crazy.
Within minutes, she's trying everything.
I try to open it with my son's shoe, and that doesn't work. I tried to wave his shirt as a flag out the door. Can you hear me? Hello? And that doesn't work either. Nobody can see it. I climbed up on top of the stall and put my hands against the window grate and just started to yell. Help! I realized that no one was hearing me, so I went back to the door and I put my fingers underneath the door between the door and the ground, and I was trying to pull it open, and it just seemed like it wasn't budging, and the harder I pulled, I seemed to bend the door more than the door seemed to come open.
Without a doorknob, there shouldn't be a way to lock the steel-sided door unless it gets caught.
He bent this back down already, but this was here, and it had gotten stuck with this piece of the door.
The faulty plate acted as a wedge, closing the family off. Her cell phone in the car, so Jennifer's only hope would be getting someone's attention.
Finally, I just started screaming at the top of my lungs. Anytime anyone passed by in a car, someone jogging.
2 hours went by and her 2 boys started to pray. That's when Jennifer heard a bang.
And I just jumped down and I said, is somebody out there? And she asked me if someone was in there with us. And I said, no, just my kids and myself and my dog. We're all in here and we just need to get out.
Their prayers were answered, or so she thought.
She started to walk away. And I heard her stop kicking and I looked out the doorknob hole. And I'm like, please don't go. I think I was actually pleading with her, please don't leave us.
The woman left, but came back with a man.
And you could hear there was a little boy inside, and so he just tried harder, and the next kick took the door in.
Jennifer says she gave her rescuer a huge hug and a tear-filled thank you, but she never got their names.
They have no idea how much I was thankful as a mom. I felt so helpless at that moment when my kids were stuck in that bathroom, and I didn't have a way to get them out.
On October 12th, 2006, everything that my life was changed. I hit my head backwards and received my first concussion in that game.
If Zach Lystedt had just gone to the bleachers, just sat out the second half, this wouldn't be his reality. But instead, like 2% of athletes playing sports, he got back in the game.
My dad said the last thing I said to him before I lost consciousness was, "Daddy, I can't see."
A second concussion in the fourth quarter almost killed Zach. Half the blood in his body went to his brain, causing 10 strokes and placing him in a coma for 2 months.
It's not Zach's concussion that was a tragedy. It was the way his concussion was managed.
That's the message Dr. Stanley Herring is trying to hit home to parents. When in doubt,
Just take them out. Just take them out. It's really pretty simple.
50% of second impact injuries result in death. The other 50, like Zach. And you can replace Zach's name more and more with Ashley or Sarah, because girls basketball players are 240% more likely to get a concussion than boys. Girls soccer, 40%. And it's not just high school either. It's quickly moving down the ranks into middle school sports too.
Both genders, all sports.
Dr. Herring says because it's so widespread, it needs to be the parent's job to look for signs and the athlete's job to report symptoms. This isn't pro ball, he says. There aren't 20 medics on the sidelines, but there are at least 20 parents who can and need to be watching. And if there's a concussion, it's everybody's job not to argue with the doctor.
You have to meet criteria for return to play, and meeting those criteria for return to play is not your responsibility as a parent or coach. It's a medical decision. That's my responsibility. Not only just the law, thanks to Zach, it's just the right thing to do.
The choice is obvious. Whenever in doubt, sit them out.